You know, when a lot of people think about leather scents, they picture something really heavy,
Yeah, like rough.
Yeah, almost a bit rough around the edges.
Right.
But ombre leather, like you said, it's called a modern classic, and
Mm.
there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
It takes that traditional leather and just does something totally unexpected with it.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine taking the smoothest suede and just, like, wrapping yourself in it.
Okay, so instead of smelling like I just stepped out of a biker bar, we're
Exactly.
going for something a bit more, how do I put it, refined.
Exactly. Think of it more like you're walking into a high-end tailor shop
Okay.
where that scent of rich leather, it's there, but it's not in your face.
It's subtle.
Subtle, elegant, that's the word. And they actually achieve this by using a specific type of leather accord, one that really focuses on that suede aspect.
Oh, interesting.
And then they combine it with these softer notes like jasmine and cardamom.
Wait, jasmine and cardamom with leather? That's not a combo I would thought of.
See, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Right.
It's unexpected. You get that warm spiciness from the cardamom, then a touch of sweetness from the jasmine,
Okay.
and then that base, that earthy, grounding leather underneath it all. It's the kind of fragrance that keeps changing on your skin. It surprises you.
I like surprises, especially good ones.
Exactly, and this is a good one, trust me.
Okay, you're really painting a picture for me here, but you know me. I like to get into the nitty-gritty of the practical stuff.
I hear ya. Always important, right?
Exactly. So let's talk longevity. We all want a fragrance that lasts, right? Nobody wants to be reapplying every 5 minutes. What are we looking at with ombre leather?
Excellent question. And I'm happy to report that longevity is one of ombre leather's biggest strengths.
Music to my ears.
Seriously, all those reviews you sent, they consistently praise its staying power.
Okay, so we're talking like...
Think a good 8 to 10 hours on the skin, sometimes even longer.
Now that's what I call value for your money. One of the articles you sent actually called ombre leather versatile, and I gotta say, that caught my eye. How does a leather scent, especially one with these kind of unexpected notes, actually work in different settings?
You're right, you don't always think versatile when you think leather. But that's where ombre leather really shines. It breaks the mold. It's got this incredible ability to be both assertive and inviting at the same time.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. You can wear it to a business meeting and feel super confident, powerful even, and then head straight to dinner afterwards without feeling out of place.
Okay, I'm getting that, like that perfectly tailored leather jacket, you know? You can dress it up or down, but it always adds that something special. This is what we fragrance lovers dream of.
Exactly. And you know what? That ties into another point you brought up. It's unisex appeal.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
So traditionally, leather's been kind of stuck in the men's fragrance section, but ombre leather says, nope, not today. Those softer floral notes we talked about, they really open it up to anyone who loves a well-made, sophisticated fragrance, regardless of gender.
I love that fragrance is evolving, becoming less about, male or female, and more about finding a scent that just speaks to you, to your individual personality.
100%.
Speaking of which, one review mentioned that, while it's great, ombre leather isn't for everyone. And the price tag is definitely something to consider.
Absolutely. It's an investment, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's important to acknowledge that while it's super versatile, ombre leather does have a personality.
Truly.
Leather, even when it's blended beautifully like this, it has a distinct aroma. It might not appeal to everyone's taste, and that's okay.
So let's say someone's listening to this and they're intrigued by ombre leather, all this talk about cardamom and jasmine, but they're thinking, I'm not sure about the leather. What other fragrance directions would you point them in based on what we've talked about today?
Ooh, that's a fun one. Let me see. Well, the great thing is if leather is not calling their name, there's this whole other universe of scents out there waiting to be discovered.
It's true. So many options.
And it sounds like, from what we've talked about, they're into these kind of like sophisticated, well-blended fragrances.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So if they want something a little lighter, but still super chic and elegant, I might steer them towards something in the citrus family.
Citrus. Always a good choice. Tell me more.
Okay, so think like bright notes of grapefruit, maybe some bergamot, and then to give it that grounding base that they seem to like, a touch of vetiver.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's fresh, it's clean, and just like ombre leather, it can work for day or night.
Versatile, just what we like. Now, what about if they're loving this idea of a statement fragrance, but they want something, maybe a touch softer than leather?
Ooh, then we got to talk florals.
Ooh, florals.
Right. And trust me, it's a whole world in itself.
It really is.
Like, they were into that jasmine note in ombre leather, right?
Yeah, that was intriguing.
So maybe a perfume where jasmine is the star of the show
Yeah.
would be right up their alley,
Oh, I love a good jasmine.
right? Or if you're feeling a little bit warmer, spicier vibe, maybe a rose fragrance with hints of cardamom or even pink pepper.
Okay, see, now you're speaking my language. I do love a bit of spice.
Just adds that extra something, you know?
For sure. Now, one more thing from the reviews that caught my eye. They mention ombre leather having strong projection.
Ah, yes, projection. It's all about how far your fragrance travels, you know?
Exactly, and I'll be honest, I've definitely been guilty of overdoing it with the fragrance sometimes.
Oh, we've all been there.
More than once. But when they say strong projection about ombre leather, what are we talking about exactly?
So it basically means that ombre leather has a noticeable sillage, which is that, like, trail of scent you leave behind as you move.
Okay, I'm picturing like you walk into a room and people are like, what is that amazing smell? In a good way, of course.
Exactly. It's confident, it's present, but not overwhelming. It's like a whisper that travels a bit further.
Like an olfactory calling card. I was here and I smelled fabulous.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about fragrance. It's so personal. What might project really strongly on one person might be super subtle on someone else.
Oh, absolutely. It's about your skin chemistry, the environment, even the weather. It all plays a part.
It's true. It's all about finding what works for you and makes you feel your best.
Couldn't agree more. Now, before we wrap things up, let's talk about this who is ombre leather for section, because it seems like they're painting a pretty specific picture.
They are. It's almost like they're describing a character, someone who's drawn to these bold, distinctive scents, you know?
It's giving. Like,
Yep.
if you have to ask, it's not for you, but in a good way, right?
But it's not just about personality. It's about appreciating the craft of perfumery.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're talking about someone who gets excited about those unexpected notes, like that cardamom and jasmine weaving its way through the
The
leather.
selectors, the curious ones.
Exactly. The ones who are always on the lookout for that next, like, masterpiece of a scent.
It's a journey, isn't it, this fragrance world?
It totally is. Full of surprises and new discoveries.
Well said. And you know what? That's a perfect note to end on because speaking of discoveries, we've given you a taste of ombre leather, but there's so much more to explore.
Absolutely. Even if leather isn't your thing, remember, the most important thing is finding a fragrance that makes you feel amazing, confident, ready to take on the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And for that final thought, that little something to spark your curiosity, think about this. What if you layered ombre leather with something else? Just a touch of something unexpected, maybe a hint of vanilla, a dash of citrus. Could you create something truly unique, a scent that's one of a kind, just like you? Something to ponder on your fragrance adventures.
Until next time, happy sniffing.